We take to the streets at a quick pace, Cyrus leading to wherever. I find it difficult to keep up with him though, and in more ways than one, my head is still swimming from the mention of war. Whoa, moonwalking, I like it. What level is the war, do you think? You mean what level do I think it'll be? It hasn't happened. With any luck, it won't. Luck? I'm thinking this could be something like a 4 on the scale. 4? Oh gracious, 4 is 1 away from 5, and 2 from 6, which is terrible. 6 is very, very terrible. The worst. Even 4 though, a war without rules, Ugh, that must be particularly gross. It is a very disturbing prospect. So disturbing that I grab my hair and almost shut my eyes. Clearly. What exactly is this? What will happen? Test. What do you think? Is it really the time for tests? Be appreciative that I'm even doing this work, Winter. He seems so much more angry than before. How irksome! Petty. What do I think? Probably nothing, you vapid. What could it be? Well, first of all, Gabriel will respond to Brighton's threat. Possibly. Possibly? Why isn't this person putting the quotes? Why wouldn't they? I'll answer that for you, because it might work in their favor to ignore it. I don't get it. Double ellipses. Just think, Winter. Oh, okay, just think. One real advice, you ... arg. Well, maybe they just don't care at all about Brighton, and they'll use this tantrum as an excuse to destroy them. That's nonsensical, I know. Keep pointing out how I'm like a fish attempting to walk. That's right, Winter. You're right about why they wouldn't respond. What? How ... absurd. Isn't Gabriel a leech on Brighton's back? They need Brighton, so why would they want to destroy it? Well, they wouldn't actually destroy Brighton. What they would do is invade and take away what little freedom and independence this country still clings to. Then they would be able to take advantage of the citizens in ways unprecedented. What a disgusting thought. I can hardly even imagine it. Alright, now here's another question. Why does Brighton think it can take on Gabriel? Damn it, Cyrus. How should I know? The same way you know the first answer. I was bullshitting! Language. Sorry, sir. Thinking about recent events might help. Goodness, is he trying to get me to think in the place of murderers? Those are boots I would not like to fill. I guess that I have to, though, ... He mentioned recent events? I can't think that this minimum wage increase would embolden this country enough to believe they could stand against an obviously superior nation. Especially with how unimpressed the president seemed to be about it. Even David wasn't terribly excited. Oh, David! What was it that David mentioned? ... Their new army. The person I spoke with, his name was David. He said that Brighton had gotten a military recently to defend against the border country, Ferdia. He said it was because Ferdia is dangerous and ignores treaties, but isn't it far more likely that this army was actually created to engage with Gabriel, with an actual military and what seems to be a new kind of weapon, at least judging from how the locals reacted? Then that would explain their confidence? ... I think. See, Winter, you are cut out for this. Heh! ... Wait, don't reference things I mumbled to myself before we came here, creep. Then you understand the situation. Yes, but I'm curious, isn't this movie isn't this more like a level 5 war? As Brighton and Gabriel are technically separate, I can't call what might happen a civil war. Then it's a technicality, just a technicality? I'd figure Brighton and Gabriel were still very close. Well, look at you, you're all calm. I frown with indignation. Yes, clearly. I am not at all calm if this is essentially a level 5 war. Well, you look it. I do not let up with my frown. Well, this isn't all there is. How this might proceed largely has to do with what level I would give this potential war. Cyrus stops, and I stop in turn. We are now in front of a fountain. It took me the entire time until now to realize that the city streets are deserted. The doorways are even clear of those ragged children who would ask us for pennies. Could it be that everyone is listening to the address? Before I can drift off and on this thought, Cyrus looks down at me. A nuclear weapon is one that can kill a lot of people and destroy a lot of things almost instantly. Excuse me? ... Honestly, Winter, what did you think I meant earlier when I said a lot of dying could be expected? I won't go into the details, but it's not something you would have been taught about yet. I have dealt with it before, though. You are lucky. I am not lucky at all, not even in the littlest slightest. What kind of thing is that? Is it magic? This isn't a magical world, Winter. Thank the higher-ups you won't be going to those just yet. They're less fun than they sound. I should not be going to worlds with wars either. Point. You can check your Codex for information about what we'll be dealing with if you'd like. I need to contact support and update them anyway, so at the least it will give you something to do while you wait. What is it exactly? Just nuclear weapon seems rather broad, like spear weapon or fruit drink. I believe that it's a fusion bomb. While Barnaby didn't specify, the rumor I heard supports it. Also, it makes sense considering their reactors. Reactors? That? You forgot? We saw them when we first arrived. This country utilizes fusion reactors for power. Ah, right. The looming and shadowy giants that stand on the distant steppes. I remember not wanting to remember them. They were disconcerting. Like many other things here, they look a mess, and unlike many other things here, they vibrated. And I thought they were going to violently break apart. Anyway, fusion bomb should be under weapons, obviously. It's technically not pure fusion, but most worlds can only do so much. Not pure? Well, it's a limited reaction, chum, startled by fission. True fusion bombs are rather like man-made stars. Stars are beautiful. Not the word I'd use for those. Just keep the distinction in mind and read that fusion bomb entry. Right, understood, I mumble this as Cyrus turns from me and begins raising his wrist to his mouth. He suddenly pauses, though, and addresses me again. Oh, and Winter, while you're at it, check out the appropriate entries pertaining to this world. Always mind your Codex, it could save lives. Remember to keep tabs on it. Understood, sir. ... I look at my own wrist. Both of us are sporting bracelets, which look very similar to stylish and thin digital watches. We have to regularly hide them from view. That's why we're on the outside of my sleeve, as we are advised that they are considered suspicious-looking things, usually. Hey, it's Cyrus. You guys probably noticed there's trouble at this world. ... Yes, more trouble. Cut the cutesy crap, this isn't the time. I'm actually... Oh, it's actually what exactly? How about you keep listening instead of interrupting? I look at him. He notices that I'm listening, shifts a little, and walks out of my range of hearing. That is worrisome. I look back at my wrist device, my ICD, Interplanar Communication Device, a name which does not actually cover all that it does. It also creates a database, and it tells time, and probably 1,000 other things, as it is fancy. Honestly, if there's anything magical I have encountered so much as far as a student mediator, it is most definitely the ICD, science magic, or some such. It basically does everything. It is how we get to other worlds and teleport around them, and it can open up a tiny pocket dimension for holding things. An inventory, it's called. I think it is pretty cool. And it came from my own world! I would never have imagined it. Right now, I need to access the Codex, ... I focus this thought, open the Codex, and the device recognizes the command, as it is linked with my mind, which is awesome. A tiny holographic screen emits from the device in a rather inconspicuous fashion, yet still in an acceptably readable size. If it was truly futuristic, it could just beam light right into her eye images so only she could see it. I began to navigate the database, searching for ... Well, let's see. Sewell, Brighton, Gabria, ... and Ferdia too, I suppose. I think I'll leave Fusion Bomb for last. Great. Will I leave it for last? I don't know. Let's start with Brighton. Brighton is a minor society on SH659541 Sewell with strong historical and present connections to both Gabria and Ferdia. A site of several rich mineral deposits, it also previously a Gabrian colony, but gained independence 120 Sewell years ago. It also shares a large portion of its border with Ferdia, and a truce has been signed between Gabria and Ferdia concerning the territory. Brighton was still a colony at the time. Although Brighton shares in the technological advancement of its mother country, it does not share in prosperity and is economically weak by comparison. The Brighton people are a hard-working and closely knit group and tend to describe themselves metaphorically as ants. This society has not yet been visited. Ferdia is a major society. Actually, I do not know if you want me to read this. I will read it. I assume if I scroll, you guys can pause and read it if you want. If you want me to read these things in the future, drop a comment and I will gladly do so, but, so it'd probably take, like, 15% of an episode, so I'm just gonna read it on my own real quick. Okay, very informative. Certainly, this is amazing. I smile pleasantly in admiration of technology. Most unfortunately, my smile is very, very temporary. As it turns out, the fusion bomb is incredibly horrible. It is a weapon that will detonate and destroy everything in a very large radius with a disturbing rapidity. In its wake is a kind of miasma, so powerful that it sticks to a place for several decades before dissipating. It causes sickness to those who did not die, and greatly increases the chance of cancer mutations in the children of survivors. Once again, I am affronted by the sense of unreality that has persisted since my induction into the mediator. This is not even something you would read about in storybooks. This is not a thing one can imagine. Why would you kill somebody else? Why would you kill hundreds, thousands, millions, and what's more, with such effects? What does that accomplish? They said I would not understand it for a long time, that it would be covered later on in my schooling, and that until then I would not be allowed to mediate wars. I need to understand this now, though. It may go down in a matter of hours. What will happen if I remain in this foolish ignorance of mine? My heart thumps and my stomach twists. I put my hand over my mouth and squeeze my eyes shut. I am not the type of freak to freak out, but I am freaking out a lot today. Winter! Ah, ... Come on, calm down. We'll make it through this and you'll be better for it, okay? I close my Codex and look at Syrus, who has placed his hands on my shoulders. Oh yeah. The gesture does not help. For some reason, it makes me feel worse. My heart tightens and tears escape from my lids. I feel the same feeling that comes when I imagine how it would be if my dad were to die, only the feeling is much more distorted and disgusting. I answer Cyrus with a warbling voice, as my emotions are in tatters. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm stupid, ... Winter, come on. Hey, you aren't stupid. You're a smart girl, he lied. I'm incredibly stupid, you know it. Okay, you're right. You're just a bit hard-headed. It's okay. You're young, Winter, and you're strong, too. You're strong, Winter. I just don't get it. I'm sorry, ... I raise my head and I look at his face. He hiccups. Through my tears, I can see that Cyrus's cheeks are more flushed than my own. Sure. He jumps a little as if he were startled and hugs my head to his chest. His heart is beating very fast, and I clutch the bottom of his shirt. When he speaks, his voice reverberates through his body in a powerful way. So powerful that I even feel a little more confident. We will not fail. You shall not. I lift my head and look at him again. He shivers and looks from me to the fountain. I'll make sure of it. ... But only if you shape up. I'm terrified. I know. Okay. ... Let's finish this up, alright? ... I push away from him and wipe my eyes and cheeks. I feel as though this is too much for me to take. It is hard to have faith in Syrus. The further I go down the path of a mediator, the harder it is to have faith in anything. Still, ... if I feel this is so wrong, then I ought to stop it, right? I should stop this all from happening. I should stop this war, plainly and simply. I steel myself and stare directly into Cyrus's eyes, sure to convey my conviction. Sir. Yes? I am confident that we will succeed here too. I'll also make sure that we will not fail. That mindset is good, Winter Harrison. Hold on to it. It's easy to lose. Music, cease! Alright. Let's kill the president. My soul decides to flee from my chest. ... What? What? That's the obvious course of action. Is it, Cyrus? That isn't... No, it's not. That is the least obvious thing. Okay, that's also not true. Oh? Then what's the most? How about making all the nukes disappear? I don't know what kind of powers you guys have. If you can kill the president, you can do a lot of random crap, right? Talk to him? Convince him that he shouldn't do the thing he wants to do? Winter, we don't have the time for diplomacy. But your time to kill the president? I mean, that seems pretty time-consuming, too. What? Mediation is all about diplomacy. No, it isn't. I shouldn't even have to tell you that. Mediators are simply neutral parties that enter worlds with problems, assess the situation, and solve the issues by whatever means necessary. You really are scum. What? I look him in the eye, nearly snarling. She really has no idea. Like, This is a problem that a lot of fictional settings have, is they need an everyman that the media consumer, the watcher, the reader, whatever, can relate to, and that way they can experience the world through this person's eyes. And the problem that frequently occurs is, in order to have exposition, in order for things to get explained to you, things get explained to the main character. And then the problem is, a lot of these things, the main character should already know because they grew up in this world. So why does this person have this job and not know what people who have this job do? Because this cannot be the first time somebody like Other Mediator has had to do something like this. She's just freaking ignorant is the problem that I'm having here. I look him in the eye, nearly snarling. "Now, what's this, sir? You think I'm deaf? Every student knows how you handle things. That's right, people talk about you. Everyone knows that you're a murderous and cold ... ugh. And don't talk to me like I'm that stupid. I remember what they said at orientation. I know that setting existence to balance is totally important. I just didn't understand what that meant. I know how needed it is, but I thought we were more heroic than that, and ... and I ... I can't believe I felt confident because of you! Do you even hear yourself? What is necessary? We shouldn't lower ourselves to that barbaric level. I mean, I've never seen someone so simultaneously right and wrong. ... I'm really starting to tire of your lip, Harrison. Arg M ... Now listen here ... Many in Brighton do not support an aggression against Gabria, I've heard. That's only natural. War is a terrible thing. Furthermore, while their poverty extends far, it can be argued that the situation is for the best. Barnaby does not see that, though. He sees his own solution as the only solution. The people do not side with him. That is at least one issue that needs to be addressed. They must support him. They must feel that his decision is right. So I will kill him. In doing so, the blame should be placed upon Gabria, and it should be clear to the populace that they have an enemy to fight. What in the ... what is he saying ... Was all that talk before to prepare me to accept this evil? To prepare me for these calculated deaths? You're not just asking me to support killing a man, are you? You're going to allow the nuclear bomb to be launched as well. Are you insane? I can't sit by and allow that. You've underestimated the plight of these people. For Barnaby, who has no real power, to wrest it for himself in such a dramatic fashion suggests that he is not willing to listen to reason. If we had longer than 4 hours, then it would have perhaps been possible to change his mind. But like this, just forget it, that nuke will be launched. All we can do is unite these people before they go to war. We can still bring this nation into order. Order? Does that bother you? Stability is paramount, Winter. Bang bang. So cool your head. Think about this logically already. Being a mediator isn't a thing of emotion. That's... What? That's only your opinion, and you're only one person. Don't act as though you know anything. I don't know a lot, but what I do know is that murder is the worst thing a person can do. Is it? I feel like I've had this conversation before in other video games. It's bad. But I don't know that murder's the worst. I feel like skinning someone alive, like some extreme torture's probably worse than murder. Especially if it ends in murder. I'm not gonna get into morality on this, I guess.